Hey there, going to do a little video on customer service and internet parts. This one in particular is about a problem I had many years ago, like 30 years ago, with a company. Let me explain the situation. I had a customer he didn't bring his bike in yet. He came in and had a base gasket leak, planning for us to redo the base gaskets. So he wants to know if wants to buy these cylinder heads that were new, that were high performance heads from brand new heads that came with oversized valves, already ported, valve springs, everything ready to bolt on. If while we were doing the base gaskets, which was under warranty because it was a newer bike, if we could put these cylinder heads on. I said, yeah, no problem. We'll put them on there. No charge, just probably hone the cylinders or measure the cylinders while I got it off to make sure they're still straight. And if it needs to, they'll hone it for new range, rigid hone it, not berry ball hone it. So we set it up. Guy buys these heads. They were from CCI, Custom Chrome, and supposed to be all and end all. So it's mail order, long before internet. Guy buys these heads and bought them directly from CCI. They had some kind of special deal where you didn't even have to buy them from the dealer. You could buy them on special directly from CCI. So no problem. Brings the bike in, brings it heads in, still in the boxes, brand new. And you have to remember these heads they're not made in USA. They're made in Korea, more than likely. Made overseas. Anyway, do the guy's bike up, put the heads on, take it out and ride it, break it in a little bit, break in, ride it normal. Every once in a while, gag the throttle, and then let back off of it. Then gag it again, let back off of it, gag it again. Helps seat the rings, and extra pressure side loads the rings. So they break in a little bit better than just putzing around. Do all that, detail the guy's bike, or had one of the lot boys detail the guy's bike. And he comes and picks it up. Explain, keep doing the rolling on the throttle and letting off of it, roll it on, let it off. Not constantly, but if you're cruising down the road every once in a while, just gag it a little bit. Just bring the RPM to like 3,000, 3,500 in that range. And then chop the throttle. Do that every once in a while when you're riding. So guy does that. And after a couple of weeks, he calls me in and says, bike started smoking. It lost power. Okay. Bring it back in. So he brings it in, and naturally he thinks it's something that I did or that we did, putting it back together. We screwed up the rings or screwed up something. That's his first thought. So get the bike in, start tearing it down, and there's oil in the pipes. This is on a bagger, like a 92, 93 bagger Evo. And pull the front head off, looking at, pull the springs off, going to check, maybe it popped the valve guide seal off of it. It didn't. Pull the valves out of it, and when I was pulling the exhaust valve out, I thought I saw the valve guide move a little bit. But get the valves out, and I go to pull the seals off the valve guides, and when I tried to pull it off the exhaust valve guide, the entire valve guide just pulled out of the head. I mean, I'm just grabbing hold of the valve seal with a pair of pliers, and the valve guide just poof right out. And the intake didn't come all the way out, but it did move about a quarter inch when I went to pull the seal off of it. So got it off, and I'm looking at the guides, and the thing already had oversized guides in it. Well, that's a no-go. It had like eight thousandths on the intake, eight thousandths oversized on the intake, and 12 thousandths on the exhaust on the front head. Well, that's not good. So pull the rear head off, and it's pretty much the same deal. Valve guides didn't pull out of the head, but they had moved quite a bit. And valve guides on those things, there's no shoulder on them. So when you press them in, that's the only thing holding them is a press fit. There's no collar on the valve guide. And do that, heads are screwed up. You know, call the customer, tell him he needs to come in. He says he'll come in after work that day. So he comes in, and I'm showing him what happened to the heads, and I'm like, whoever you got these heads from, you need to contact them and let them know that they're screwed up. So whoever he called at CCI, they told them that there's no way that, because whoever put them in had changed the valve guides on it. And the customer's thinking that I put valve guides in it for some reason, that he's believing whatever smoke they're blowing up his butt there. So I said, Chris, how does that make any sense? I didn't charge any labor. I didn't charge you for valve guides. I'm not going to do that kind of shit for free. So he kind of understands a little bit. So they tell him that first, they're like, you're on your own because whoever worked on it put valve guides in it. And I'm like, man, you better call somebody else there and talk to somebody else at that company, because I didn't put no valve guides in this damn thing. So he gets a hold of somebody, calls me up. He's like, just box them up, and I'm going to come get them, and I'll ship them back to CCI. Okay. I'm not putting them back together. I put everything, labeled everything, and put it in little baggies with the heads. So he sends the head back, and I told him, make sure you get a delivery confirmation with that stuff, that they actually got them, what day they got them, time, whatever, whoever signs for them. So he does all that. Then it kind of gets pawned off on us that we're going to deal with CCI. We're a CCI dealer. Oh, okay. So a little bit of time goes by, like a month, and customers calling me like daily. Have you heard from them yet? Have you heard from them yet? I'm like, nope. So I call them and talk to somebody there. And first guy I talked to, he's like, yeah, we're looking at them now. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Like, call me back when you know something, what you're going to do. Call me back. I give it a couple days and call them back. And whoever I got called the tech department to talk to somebody there in tech. And that guy, whew, man, what a bozo. We don't have any heads here for you. Give him customer's name. We don't have those. We don't have any heads here at all. Okay, no problem. You don't have heads. You better find the damn things, because you got delivery confirmation that heads are there. The guy, kind of a dick to me. He slams the phone down on me. Oh, okay, cool, no problem. So called back, tried to get a hold of somebody else, and they don't know what's going on. One guy talking to some other guy that's talking to some other guy. So give me the runaround. They don't have the heads. Here, it's what they're telling me. And I explained, well, the first guy I talked to gave him his name, said you had him and you were looking at him. So I call up the local rep for CCI and explain the situation to him. And he's like, I'll look into it. I was saying, you better call me back this afternoon. You're looking into it. Because we got to know this guy wants his damn bike back. He's blaming us for you guys that screw up. Calls me back that afternoon with an unacceptable answer. And I told him right there, I'm like, man, you know what? We can't do business with you anymore. We're spending 20 grand a month there. Whatever it was over 20,000 a month. Aftermarket parts. I think we're just going to have to go with Drag Specialties from now on. So he heard that, and within an hour, somebody was calling me from CCI there in California that president, vice president, somebody like that's calling me up and wants to know what's going on. So explain to them, like, well, I had a customer buy these heads from you guys directly under whatever program you had, and that oversized valve guides in it. And one of your guys tells the customer that I put oversized guides in it. So there's no warranty. And then send the heads back to you, and then nobody can find these heads after I talked to one guy that says, yeah, we got them. I'm looking at them today. And then never heard from them. So talk to this president, vice president, whatever he was. And he said, I'm going to send you a new set of heads. I said, you send them. But I'm going to disassemble them and check them to make sure everything's right before I actually stick them back on the bike. I think he sent the heads directly to us at the dealership. I think I had the heads within like 2 or 3 days. He FedExed them. And, took them apart, checked the valve seats on them, checked the valve guide clearance, checked the valve guides, ball height, spring height, all the measurements I could do on them. And they checked out good, put them back on the bike. Everything was fine. Now, the problem with that was, who's going to pay for this additional labor and parts? Because, what we're supposed to eat, all this labor and new gasket set, well, they actually paid for that too. Well, they paid for the parts anyway. And they did eventually, after screaming at them, they did kick in some labor. Not the full labor rate, but some labor. That's one of the problems with buying stuff from mail order or internet that people don't consider. You got a smoking hot deal on something that's, it could be anything. Could be, voltage regulator, stator, bearings, any kind of part you can think of. You're charged, guy buys a part for whatever. Buys a voltage regulator, tested stator, and voltage regulator fails test, so it needs voltage regulator. Put a voltage regulator on there, and it's, it works for a week, a day, who knows? It works for how long it works. And then it dies. So normally what happens, if I get a voltage regulator from Drag Specialties or whoever, Parts Unlimited, for whatever kind of bike it is, and it's a dud, of course it's under warranty from Drag or Parts Unlimited or whoever. So it's under warranty from them. The way they're set up, I'm in North Carolina. Drag Specialties has a warehouse here. So if I order stuff pretty much before 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd have it the next day. So no biggie. Depending on where you live in the country, it might be 2, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever, if they have it in the local warehouse. Say that happens. Well, you as Joe Public buy that same part from eBay or speed addicts or lowbrow customers or TC bros or whoever, uh, who's going to pay for the labor? You know, guy brings a bike to me and I put a voltage regulator on it. Well, that's time or a stator or whatever. That's labor time. So just say something more labor intensive like a stator. So I can do a stator fairly quickly, but it's still having to pull me off of one job to redo something that I already did. Who's going to pay for that labor? Can't eat everything all the time. I had a lady bought a tire, Dunlop tire, for a Road King. Now it was a soft tail. And she bought it, put it on, charged her money to put it on there. And it's just a rear tire. It ain't no big deal. So she rides it for about a week, calls me up, and she said, I think I need you to ride my bike. It's got a weird, it's like it's hopping in the rear. Okay. She brings it by. I took it out, rode it, made it about, I rode around the block. I got out on the road, and as soon as I hit like 30 miles an hour, the bike's doing this. I mean, you can feel it, you can hear it. And this was at the time when Dunlop was on strike, and around that time frame, Dunlop was on strike, so they were using scabs to produce the tires. They were doing them in New York or wherever. And anyway, pull the bike in, jack it up, roll the rear around, and right in the middle of the tire, there's a knot about the size of a golf ball sticking out. It'd be like half a golf ball sticking out of the tire. So I'm not going to tell her to send it back to wherever. I had the tire in stock there. So I just grabbed one of my tires. I'm not charging her for this tire now. I'm taking it out of stock, put one of my tires on there, and then I'm sending the tire that she had bought. I called up Drag. They wanted to know the date code and all that off the tire. So I gave them the date code and all that. And it was, guys had the same tire there the next day. They warranted it. In that date range where some of them Dunlop tires were getting through that were screwed up. Did this lady a solid. And, at that point, customer for life. I went out of the way. Well, you can't do that all the time. If you did that every time a part failed, you'd be out of business in a hurry. There's other stuff people buy that are just, and you have to advise them. I've done fork seals where somebody buys them cheapo leak-proof fork seals, or as we call them, leak-prone. That they just don't. I've never been able to get them to seal. They just don't work. A lot of problems with stuff if you're dealing internet mail order. People don't think about. You had a set of pipes one time. Guy bought some Samson pipes. Never been put on anything. Still in the box, brand new. Take them out, put the pipes on, jetted the carb up for them pipes because it's in big fat Samson pipes. We did the standard up and on the low speed jet and fattening out the air fuel screw. Fired up, and almost immediately, I mean within 10 seconds, the chrome starts burning off. The chrome starts bubbling around the heads on the pipes. All up Samson. And first the guy's like, nah, you had the timing of the jetting wrong. There's no warranty on that. And I was like, man, it's not like they just turned blue. The damn chrome's bubbling off of them. I mean, big blister like bubbles coming off after running for maybe 10 seconds. Ain't no damn way. I've been doing this for 20 years at that point. I'd never seen that before. I was like, yeah, we'll send you another set of pipes. But I need them old ones back. No problem, man. You can have them. So I got that customer a set of pipes. And same kind of thing, guy thought, man, you guys screwed my pipes up and this and that, the other thing. And I didn't even let him see the pipes. I just told him, it's going to be a day or two to get these pipes. And I know, I said it only take a day. Those pipes you got were screwed up. He understood. Another one had a guy gotten a set of wheels chromed or somewhere. I was changing the tire. He already had tires put on there on a Softail Custom. And guy's standing right next to me. I let the air out of the tires, break the bead on the tire. He's standing there watching. And when I broke the bead, the chrome was stuck to the tire, so it just peeled the damn chrome off of it. Of course, he's freaking out, thinking I messed his wheel up on the machine or whatever. And I'm looking at the chrome, and I'm like, "Where'd you get this thing's chromed at? Because they ain't triple chrome plated. That's like a single. They chrome directly over the rim. No nickel or copper on it." But one of them things, he got it cheap. Of course, then he's screaming he wants a new wheel because I screwed his wheel up somehow or whatever. I was like, "Man, you were standing right there. All I did was break the bead on it. You were staring directly at it. You watched it as soon as the tire broke the bead, the chrome peeled off of it. Chrome was stuck to the tire." Anyway, that's just some of the little things that happen. I know this is a little long and tedious, but something to think about when you're ordering parts like that. Now, what I used to do as far as tires go, I'd buy tires directly from Drag Specialties because they were by far had the best margin as far as pricing goes. So what I would do, if you bought the tires from me, you paid retail, I would put them on your bike for free. That's not you bringing me the rims. That's me bringing the bike in, me pulling the wheels off and putting the tires on. Sweet deal. People here are going to put tires on for free. And it actually comes out to the same price because what happens is, guy buys a set of tires online, and you got to sign up that says free mounting and balancing on tires purchased at this store. That's not even fine print. That's big letters on the sign there. Well, all they see is free mounting and balancing. All the time, guys go buy tires online, and then come in, and they drop bike off, and you put. You have to explain to them, there's going to be a labor charge on that. I know you got these tires for 120, 130, 140 bucks, whatever you got them for, so you saved yourself a little bit of money there. But you're still going to pay me to put them on the bike. That ain't free. Unless you want to pull the wheels off yourself and just bring the wheels in, we can do that. It won't be as much. You're still going to get charged labor for me mounting balancing the tires. But that's really all I got. It's getting cold out here. It is cold out here. So I just thought I'd bring that up. It's just a little story of some of the stuff that people don't consider when they're buying that stuff. Anyway, hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You guys take care. Be careful out there.